What I'm doing now is I've just defined where my onion is going to be. I seem to find it easier for the long flowing curves to use a screw chisel. The onion is basically a bead that transitions into a cove. What you really want to work on is that transition point. Right now it's starting to get a little nervous, so we must be getting close to the right diameter. I'm going to finish up this side, and then light cuts with a sharp tool. If you hear that chatter, that's also a sign that you're not supporting the work quite enough. Couple of bumps that I need to remove there. Roll up on that sorry, I might run over a little. Try to do my best. Okay, that's the nerve-wracking part. Now we'll finish off the onion. I'm going to turn I forget what it's called. I was just looking at it on the tutorial this morning. Scotia. Okay. Did you see that?
Yep.
Okay. I warned you I was going to do that. Say again?
We even have it recorded. Way back.
I'm stopping just before my pencil line. What I'm doing is I'm treating a long cove and just merging it with a shorter cove. With the coves, you always want to be cutting downhill. You want to be cutting from the larger diameter to the smaller diameter. And then the last thing, as far as the visible part of the finial, is I'm just going to turn this base part here in at an angle. And this is where you really want to watch that entry cut. And now we can work towards parting it off. Turn a half-inch tenon here, and what I found very useful to use as a gauge is a half-inch wrench. And note I said gauge, not gouge. However, if you sharpen one side of your wrench, you now have a gouge that also gauges. And I normally turn the tenon down a little bit more before I just press down on the burn, and let me do that. Two things that I need to do before I part this off. The first is I want to undercut my finial so that I know that it's going to sit nicely on my hollow form. And again, I'm watching that entry cut. So I said two things, but three things. If I were to dye this, and typically I would dye it black, I would do it at this point. If I got any dye on the tenon, I just lightly shave that off. But this now is a good time to dye it. And then the last thing I do, because I'm using epoxy, which is gap filling, I try and create both a mechanical joint as well as a glue joint. And I do that by just putting a couple of grooves in the tenon here. With a skew chisel. So now the epoxy will go into that and we'll get a mechanical joint as well. And now we can just part this off. And then what I would do, go figure, my half-inch Harbor Freight wrench is not quite the same size as my half-inch Harbor Freight drill. I do run into that on occasion. Who would have thought, huh? But what I've done is I've taken my half-inch Harbor Freight transfer punch and I've just glued some sandpaper on here. And it actually does serve two purposes. Oops. It helps me open this up, but also I do like to rough up the inside of this. Just again to help with the glue joint, and also if there has been any, if I've turned this a while ago, and if there's been any oxidation or anything, I get rid of that. So I'm actually putting the epoxy onto raw metal.
Even if it does fit, right?
Yeah, and it would fit, it would fit. If you guys weren't here, it would fit. Anyway, when I epoxy this on, I like to put the epoxy on the inside of the ring, and that way, as I push it on, if there is any squeeze out, it tends to come out towards the back here, and it doesn't accumulate at the top here, which would overlap into my threads and also be difficult to get rid of. I have put the epoxy on the tenon, and I find that it gets pushed forward and squeezes out here where it's difficult to get rid of. So put it on the inside of the ring and push it on. So once that's glued on, we're left with this finial that's been dyed with a pewter ring on it, and round about now, you guys are probably thinking, well, he's painted himself into a corner. He's got that beautiful finial, but the bottom of it looks terrible. How's he going to finish that off? Well, you'd be forgiven for thinking that, because that's pretty much what I thought the first time I got to this point. How am I going to finish off the bottom of that finial? How am I going to hold it on the lathe? I put my thinking cap on, and this is what I came up with. I got a scrap piece of wood, I turned a tenon on it, drilled a hole through the center, threaded that, turned a recess, and then made a collet chuck out of it with my bandsaw. So now I could take the finial and screw that in there all the way till the base of the finial was sitting nice and flat and flush on that recess. Then my solution went back to the plumbing department. And I just put this on my truck in expansion mode. These jaws tighten that way. Now I can take this, set it inside there, and the base of the finial was exposed and allowed me to turn it off. That's what I call thinking inside the box.
So is that shoulder a little bit tapered so it just fits in there?
Yeah, it is, and it's probably pretty tight, and the fact that this is a collet chuck helps to jam it in there. But yeah, you need it in pretty stout.
You don't need a pipe clamp or anything.
Getting that intricate. We can even get fancy with a saw purchased at Woodcraft. Not them other guys. Put a little spiral on the bottom. finished off nicely at the bottom, and hopefully it would just screw right into here.
Harbor Freight tabs.
Keith Larrett tabs, there we go. Yeah. And that's it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. It's a great set. I have the